Morning everyone. So I just wanted to jump online. I've not done this for a long time now, so it's been a while. I just wanted to go through all the areas that we can treat with muscle relaxants and the benefits of using those instead of just going for fillers. So there's certain areas in the face that we can't just treat with fillers. We have to use Botox because they're danger zones. So we just really want to make sure that we're as safe as possible. So your normal 3 areas that you get done generally and globally, what most practitioners will use and quite comfortably do, and it's normally done in a foundation course, is obviously your frontalis. Now this muscle here, when we inject it in certain areas across here, it just means that then it relaxes the muscle and the muscle can then spread out and it stops that contraction of being able to raise. So that's always really good. However, if we just do this area by itself, there is a risk that we can drop the eyebrows, so we don't want to do that. So essentially what we want to be doing is doing this area and this area together. That keeps the height on the eyebrow, it keeps it nicely rounded around the eye, and it stops you from being able to frown. So when you pull in here, this area here is your glabella, and we do 5 injections along here. But then it gets a little bit more exciting as we move down the face, because obviously if we make this area look brand new, we need to start then concentrating on this area, so from here to here, your mid and lower face, because when this area starts to look brand new, it actually makes this area look a little bit older. So if we look at the eye here, we've got your orbicularis oculi muscle, which sits flat over the eye. It holds your socket in, it helps you with squinting, and sometimes after you've had Botox you can feel quite heavy, but it doesn't mean that aesthetically you look heavy. It just means that you can't shelter yourself from the sunlight or bright lights or anything like that. So normally you would frown, you'd lower your eyebrows to be able to shelter, or you'd probably squint. So generally with this area here, we like to do our 3rd area from here to here, so we just stop the action from happening here so that you can't pinch those together, and that's what gives you the crow's feet. So by relaxing the muscle there, then we actually give the skin a chance to stop creasing. So we only normally have wrinkles on the face because we've got a secondary muscle that's acting behind it and that's causing pressure when we're activating our muscle, and that's what's making us have lines. The other areas that we treat, and we've done quite a few in clinic recently, when this area here and here has been stunned, for a better word, so it's stopped working, so that we can relax the area, we can open up the eye, makes you look nice and fresh and gets rid of those lines and wrinkles, we then start to overcompensate by using other muscles. So what we tend to do is pop a few units either side of the nose. These are called your bunny lines. So when we inject into here, it stops you from being able to do that, or at least softens it. But obviously we've got to be really careful with the face because it's built on lots of muscles, so that we can smile, we can lift our cheeks up, all of those sort of things. We can do sad faces, and we can do other things like lip flips. So the other areas that we're going to look at, we can do a couple of units here and here, and that will lengthen this bit here and just drop it down over your teeth. So for those of you that are really quite gummy, so when you give me a big smile across here, some of you are showing the gum across the top of your lip, across the top of your teeth. So when we do that little bit of injection here and here, it just drops it. But also what's really nice as well is we all want to have that natural look. So we don't want people to look at you and go, oh my God, what she had done. So we want to keep it as natural as possible. Some of my clients like to have a lip flip, or what we call a lip flip. And that's by placing a couple of units here and here. And it just generally it drops the lip from the inside out, so it gives the appearance that you've got a nice full upper lip. Now that can work really well if you've got an overbearing bottom lip. So we want to make sure that your bottom lip and your top lip are within proportion. So ideally for me, I think it's very beautiful if your top lip is slightly thinner than the bottom lip. And that's really quite pretty, but you might think otherwise. So we like to balance it out. So by balancing it, we don't want to make the bottom lip look bigger than the top lip look bigger than the bottom lip. So we can pop a few units into there. That's what I like to have done. It means that when you're talking or looking at me, it doesn't look as though I've got lots of filler in my lips. The other areas that we can look at, these areas here, either side, your marionettes, when we do lots of facial expressions, I'm a real bugger for going, don't know. So we want to be attacking this area here and here, so that we can almost lengthen the chin area here and just soften it, so that when you are pulling, it doesn't feel like it's pulling up here. It also reduces the look of any gels here, and also it's really good preparation for when you are having dermal fillers. So for some of you who have got marionette lines here, sometimes it's because we're overusing this muscle. So by doing so, we're causing that marionette to get worse. So if we can stun that muscle there and stop it from working as strongly, we actually soften the marionette lines here, and that's a really nice, subtle, natural way to do it. And then when we do use the dermal filler, it's much more efficient in being used in that area. We also have the chin. So we pop a few units into the chin and it stops that dimpling. Now, I don't have a dimply chin, but for those of you that do, when you do this, you can see that we have lots of little dimples there. So by just stopping that muscle from working as hard as what it normally does, for those of you who pull their chin in, or you've got a receding chin that's coming up, by just popping a few units into there, it just then lengthens that bit there as well, and it stops all of those dimply chin. Other areas that we can use, we can pop a little bit into the nasalis, so right on the into your nose there, and stop you from having that talky nose. So some people have what I call a Roman nose, so where the nose can come down like this. Now we can do filler along the nose, which is very effective for those of you who've got quite a large dorsal bump and we want to straighten it out. But some people talk with their nose, and their nose is very reactive. It's very hard for me to do, actually. So by popping a couple of units there, it just stops the nose from moving up and down. So really the aim for this this quick conversation with you guys was to let you know where we can inject with muscle relaxants and how they can benefit when we're using dermal fillers. So by relaxing the muscles, it means that when we're putting the dermal fillers in, so for instance, your nasal labial folds here, if we've done a little bit of a lip flip there, then we're not actually using that area quite so much, so it actually looks a lot better when we do use those dermal fillers. If you're interested in having any of these treatments done, or you'd like to book on for a consultation, then please hit the link in the bio. It's got all of the information in there that you would need to book a consultation. It is £30 for your consultation, but if you decide to go along with one of the recommended treatments that we decide together, and that £30 comes off your initial treatment. So it's always a nice little bonus. And also, if anything, it's really enlightened you on what to expect during your procedure, your treatment and your aftercare. So just go ahead, click onto the link. And if you'd like to know a little bit more about me, then please visit our website. It's full of oodles of information. There's loads of bios in there that you can just have a little read through, really insightful for you. Okay, well, that's lovely. So thank you ever so much for listening, and I shall see you all soon. Bye.